So, Mr. Govind Sharma has the experience of 33 years, right? And he's the ex-employee of NRDC. And he has very good knowledge of filing patent. So if you will listen it carefully, then you will be able to file patent of your project, right? That will be the outcome of your project. He has a very good experience and he worked in different companies. He has different specialization also, like market survey, demand, right? And negotiation process, expert marketing, right? So these things he will handle, right? So, sir, I would like to request you, you can
Okay,
continue with your project, with
okay,
your
okay,
presentation.
okay, okay. Uh, Thank you, Saket, and good afternoon, participants. Today, I am going to talk on intellectual property rights for the startups and what the startup should know, or what the student, should know about the intellectual property, and how they will be useful to you in your future life. See, the people have idea all the times, and the good idea leads to good business. But you remember one thing, that idea is not owned by anyone. If a idea comes to your mind, it may come in the mind of others people in anywhere in the world. So the person who first take the production, the person who is faster and first product, will be the real owner. So that's why the protection, that means protection with the help of any intellectual property tool. So that helps in protection of your idea and to give you the ownership of your idea. Otherwise, if somebody else protects your idea, you don't protect somebody else product, he becomes the owner. So one thing I wanted to remind you, that when some idea comes to your mind, you should not discuss this idea with any one of your colleagues, uh, because you do not know from where you have the threat. So you should not discuss your idea with anybody before protection before protecting your idea by any intellectual property tools. Now you see, what is the entrepreneurial process. See, the idea comes to your mind. The bulb you are showing, the bulb is glowing, that is the idea. When idea comes to your mind, then you have to analyze this idea. Can this be turned into a marketable proposition? That means, can your idea, maybe it may be possible to put your idea in the market for some profit business. So this is the first thing you must, when idea comes to you, you must analyze it. You must evaluate yourself. You must evaluate. You can evaluate with the help of others, but don't disclose the confidentiality of your idea. That means you don't release the confidential information. So when the idea comes to your mind, then first you find whether this is marketable or not, whether there would be any demand now or in the future of your idea would be there or not. Once you are satisfied, once you are convinced that the idea that has come to your mind may be good for the market, then the next step, people generally, what the mistake they make, they straight away, well, they have an idea, they evaluate it, and straight away set up an enterprise. So there is one more step between setting up an enterprise, that is the protect the idea with the help of some established intellectual property right. The idea comes to you. Are you convinced with your idea? Once you are convinced that your idea can be a good business proposition, then you protect it by any intellectual property. We will see when we go ahead. We will see what are the intellectual properties that may help you in protecting your idea. Then, once you protect your idea, then you set up an enterprise. Protection means, actually protection takes time. That means once you that means I mean to say that you apply an application, you apply for the protection. You can set up an enterprise immediately after applying for the protection. You go to any intellectual property office. It depends what idea you have. So relevant intellectual property office you go, protected, you file an application, and after application you can set up an enterprise. Don't wait for the grant of your application. The moment you submit an application, whenever in future you will get the protection, but the protection will be from the back date. So thereafter, you go for setup and enterprise. So you must remember, as in a startup company, when idea comes to your mind, again I'm repeating it, idea comes to your mind, evaluate it. If you find the idea is good, protect it, then set up an enterprise. Now, what isn't? If you Google, you will find several definition of intellectual property, thousands of definition. I also some definition I don't understand what this definition say, but this is my definition of intellectual property. What is that? Tradable product of mind. You must remember that all the intellectual properties, they are intangible properties. They're not tangible properties. They're not like your house, car, jewelry, or anything else, or the farmhouse. They're not like that. They are the creation of your mind. Basically, they are the mental product. So intellectual property means the tradable product of mind. Tradable product mind means your intellectual property, the product that has come to your mind, must be linked with the commerce, or it must generate some revenue. It must be linked with the revenue generation. So that is the intellectual property for the time being. Now you see, a question may come in your mind. The idea has come to me. I can straight away start an enterprise. Then for everything there is a reason. And why should I go for protection of for my idea? The purpose, you must know the purpose. What is the importance? Why you should protect it? Protection against a competitor directly copying the idea. What happens if you don't protect your idea? Your competitor or your friend or anybody who may be interested in this idea, who may be interested in this business, he may directly copy it. See, when you protect it, you get the ownership right. For example, you have a house. The house is yours when it is registered in your name. Once it is registered in your name, nobody can surpass your house. Nobody can trespass your house. Nobody can enter the house without your permission. So similarly, when you protect an idea, your competitor cannot directly copy the idea. And it helps a business maintaining the long-term competitive edge. Why long-term competitive edge? Because all the intellectual properties, they are protected for some period, not for 1 day or 2 day, for a longer period, maybe some 10 years, 20 years, or maybe some intellectual property unlimitedly. It all depends what kind of intellectual property you are going to protect. So it helps your business maintain their long-term competitive edge. Now, they are the registered IP as an asset. If you register your intellectual property, it is an asset. Why asset? Because in some of the Oriental countries like Japan, Korea, if you don't have money and if you have registered idea, registered IP, then you can go to any bank and can ask for the, because when you go to the bank for money, when you want to set up an industry and you go to the first question with the bank will ask what collateral guarantee you can give. And suppose you don't have money, so you can't start a business. But in those countries, or in the intellectual property policy, which is issued by the government of India in 2016, this has been kept. This idea, this thing are also kept in the our IP policy. So registered IP and asset. That means if you have an idea, you have a registered intellectual property, you want to set up your own enterprise, then you can go to a bank. If the bank asks you the collateral guarantee, you can show them that you have a registered IP, and bank has the method to evaluate your IP, and on that basis, they can grant you the loan. Now, give consumers confidence. For example, people like me, I believe, I have confidence, I trust on the companies who regularly invent or innovate new products. So once you have intellectual property, some people may have confidence in you. They'll say that yes, we should buy this product of this company because they are innovative. So innovative companies, the people have the confidence. I always buy products from the innovative companies who are protecting or who has the intellectual property in their name. Then enable entrepreneurs to license. Now, why this is very important point is, for example, suppose you have made an invention. Now, once you have made an invention, what can you do with an invention? The question comes: the invention has been made, and you have filed an application for a patent. The patent may be granted or may not be granted. You have filed an application. What can you do with the invention? So you have got the three options. The first option is you don't do anything. Put your you close your invention in closet, or in the shelf of your laboratory or in your room, you can close it. This is the first option available with you. The second option available with you is you start your enterprise yourself. And for example, you are a very innovative person. You don't want to do all these things, marketing, production, and these things. So what you can do, you can allow others to start. You can license, you can permit others to use your intellectual property. For example, if you have a house, you can rent it out. Similarly, you can rent your intellectual property. You may not be interested in starting a business using your intellectual property. The third option available with you, you can license, you can permit others, you can grant license to industry or the interested and other interested entrepreneurs in exchange of some consideration, some money. You can charge some lump sum money, or you can charge some royalty, or you can outrightly sell your intellectual property also. So these are the advantages of the intellectual property. Now, how do business protect their ideas? Suppose the idea is there, what options are available with you? This is my first lecture, and you are the student. There are 5 more intellectual property that I will not discuss because I don't have a time. I have another appointment after this lecture. So they are the main, basically, to for any startup company, for any industry, these 4 intellectual properties are very, very, very important. The first is the patent, second is the design, third is the trademark, and fourth is the copyright. Now we'll see one by one what these intellectual property are and how they can help you in your startup or in enterprise. Now, first is the patent. See, the patent is granted only for the inventions. That means you have to make a invention, then a patent will be granted to you. So what is the right given under patent? A monopoly right. It is a monopoly right which is granted by the government of India for disclosing your invention to the government. To whom it is granted? It is granted to the owner of the invention or his assignee. They can get the idea. And this protection is given, this monopoly right is given only for the 20 years. And it is a negative right. Negative right means if you have made the improvement, if you made an improvement on somebody else patent, then you cannot use your improvement without getting the right of the other's patent also. The last is the territorial right. Territorial right means uh, you can ensure, you can enforce your patent only in the country where you have filed it. For example, if you are granted a patent in India, you can enforce your patent only within the geographical boundary of this country. If somebody copies your patent in Pakistan, China, America, or Europe, you cannot do anything. Only one thing you can do: if somebody copies your patent, your invention, patented invention in other parts of the world, only you can stop the import of that product in India, because the patent for that product in India is in your name, but you can't stop others. So that's why I'm calling it as a territorial right. When we'll go further, we'll see how the patent is granted, uh, and what is the purpose, what is this territorial right. We will discuss it further. Now you see, let us see what are the requirement of a patent. Suppose you have an invention. So the patent, I told you, the patent is granted for the invention. So it relates, invention must relate to a process, product, or both. What are the inventions? An invention can be a process, or it can be a product, or a both. To understand it with an example, for example, somebody developed a medicine called paracetamol is a medicine, and somebody has developed a process, the process for making paracetamol, and paracetamol, the product also he has developed. He has shown to the world that this paracetamol is effective in treating cancer, diabetes, hypertension, diabetes, hypertension,
हिंदी शेयर चलो अच्छा Govind sir, are you there? Govind sir, are you there? Silent. Govind sir, are you there? Govind sir, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please join. Please share the slides.
शेयर नहीं हो रहा है. Only organizer is only meeting organizer and presenter can share.
Sir. Please share the slides.
Okay, yes. Now it's okay. Now I can.
So now you are an organizer. You can share the slides.
अब स्लाइड नहीं आ रहा है. स्लाइड सब गायब हो गया. पता नहीं कहाँ गया. I don't know. Where are the slides? I'm unable to share the slide now. No voice. I don't know where my slide have gone.
Yeah, share the window, sir,
Ah,
again. Click the window.
okay. Can you see it? Can you see it now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, now you are now the slides are visible.
So shall
You
I
may
go back?
continue, sir.
Shall I go
Yeah,
back
yeah,
or
you may
continue?
continue.
Okay. Okay. So we are talking about the requirement of patent. Now fully disclosed in the patent document, then not barred by section 345 of the Patent Act. The section 345 of the Patent Act actually tells you what is patentable and what is not patentable, which just I told you. Now, see, for making an invention, you need not to have any, the patent office doesn't ask you any qualification. For getting a patent, they don't ask any qualification. You should not be PhD from Massachusetts or from any IIT. I've seen in during my life many school dropouts. They have I help them in getting the patents also, because idea can come in anybody's mind, and it is not necessary that you should be very highly qualified man. And secondly, it is also not necessary that you should do some rocket science. For getting a patent, it's not necessary that you should make some very, because some people, they were asking me that we, for getting a patent we should have a very higher qualification, because they, it was the questions were there in mind, or they should make some very good, high quality of invention. No, invention, see, all invention starts with the identification of a problem that needs solution. If you are able to identify a solution that needs a solution, and you find a solution to that problem, a unique solution which is not known, that is patentable. Now I'll show you with the help of some examples that what simple things can make the difference. Let us see. Paper clip is the most simple invention the world ever have. What is paper clip? The paper clip is a small implement, you can call it, which is used to tag papers. You must all have seen this paper clip. They call it James clip also, because they were made by the company James in America. So we used to call them James clip. So what is a James clip? If you see, it is a simple steel wire. It's a straight steel wire, and this wire has been made two times in U shape in such a way that it can hold some papers in it. So that means there was a problem for holding the paper, and now somebody made this invention. Somebody invented this paper clip to hold those papers. Now see, this paper clip was first patented in America in 1867. Now you will surprised to note that it has been modified 65 times till 1980, till 1867, and there were 64 more patents. And last time in America, one Chinese called He Wang, he patented this invention in 2012. He says the improvement which he has made is that his paper clip can hold thick piles of paper. So with the help, I think you will encourage that even the smallest possible things which solves some problem. What is patent? Patent is a technical solution to a technical problem. Technical can be big or a small, but it must solve. It must be solved. That means you identify a problem and that needs a solution. That is the key line, tagline you must keep in your mind when you make a startup. When you move in the market, see the things. What are the things available, and what is the people facing difficulty in using them, or how can you improve those existing thing in a small way, in a simple way, in a useful way that can solve the problem associated with the existing things. Now you see this paper clip I'm talking about. This is first 1867. Now it has been 65 times. Such a simple thing. I'll tell you one more thing. See, anyway up cup. This anyway up cup. See this. You see this lady. Her name is Mary Haberson. That lady was having two children. Once she was invited by one of her friends to her house in the evening, and her friend offer her daughter a toddler, her daughter a toddler, a glass of black currant juice. Now what the poor girl, because of her, from her hand it fell, the glass fell, and the cream color carpet of her friend was spoiled and she has to cut a sorry figure. See, the idea came from there. Can there be a cup or can there be a glass which is spill proof? So this lady started working on this. See how the problems comes in her mind and how they solve it. So what this is a very simple thing. It is a non-return valve in it, fitted in such a way. Plastic glass is also known. The non-return valve is also known. It has been put in such a way when you suck it, when you suck the mouth of this glass, the liquid starts flowing, and when you release the pressure, the liquid stops flowing. Now, this is the world's first state of the art, totally non-spill sippy cup. And this lady has sold such cup, 100 million such cup, and she has earned $100 million by selling this. And see, she says she has protected her business only with the help of intellectual property during the last 35 years. Now this is sold in. I was in South Africa. I bought one Coca-Cola bottle. Now because when you drive and you need to drink water in South Africa in Pretoria, I saw a Coca-Cola water bottle is there where you can drink easily without spilling it on you. So this is such a wonderful invention. She has made it simple but useful. Now I'll show you a the world's most ridiculous invention which has a commercial value. The flatulence deodorizer. Nobody can stop you from releasing gas. And sometimes some people have the foul smell in their gas, and the people become very uncomfortable. So somebody has identified this a problem. And what he did, the things are already available. Only you have to put them into order to make a product which is unique. Now you see, there is a pad. You can see a pad in his back, and see that pad contains activated carbon. It is known that activated carbon can absorb colors and foul smell. So what he did, he made a pad out of it filled with activated carbon, which the people can wear under their underwear. Now you have freedom. You are free to release your gas, whatever foul smell it has. People will not feel uncomfortable, and you are also free to release your gas, no problem. And this has been patented in America. The patent number is also given, but this is not an ordinary invention. You see, you may think that what could be the market for this. Yes, there is a market. I collect these things for you people only to show this is sold in Amazon in America. This pad is sold by Amazon in America, and you see the price is given, and people have given 5 star. People are so happy. Maybe it is ridiculous for you, but very useful invention, and the people are making money with such ridiculous invention also. Next intellectual property after the patent, another intellectual property in industrial design. What is industrial design? It is the aesthetic aspect, or the how a product look like to your eyes. Design is the protects the ornamental or aesthetic aspect of an industrial article. That means how a product, you can see, I think if you can see, this is a water bottle, and this water bottle has a specific shape. I like this shape, so I bought it, and there could be another shape also, because 80% or 75 to 80% product in this world are sold by design. Particularly the women, they are very fond of design. They have everything at your home. They have all kind of dresses, but if they go to the mall, in the market, and they find something very good design of the product which already exists in their house, they will tempted to buy those products. So industrial design plays a very important role in the business, characterized by their appeal to how they look, the car, the mobile phone, and the television, and the chairs, everything. The people go and buy a particular design. The design, it has nothing to do with the function. See, this water bottle which you see, it is used for keeping the water, and I can consume water. It can be any shape. A chair can be of any shape. The purpose is only sitting. But the people have a preference for a particular design, or if something appeals to somebody's eyes, they are tempted to buy it. So industrial design is a very important intellectual property. If you are entrepreneurs, if you are startup companies, and you come out with some new design, the first thing you must do is go to the design office and file an application for protection of it. I want to tell you that the idea are not protectable anywhere in the world. This idea is to fix in some medium. You have to all invention have two step. First, to conceive an idea, and second step, reduction of idea into product. So it has two steps. So idea has come, reduce it into a product. Once the product is made, or before that, you have some idea that your idea can be made into some product. That time also, you go to the relevant intellectual property office, file an application, and have freedom. So in this, all these intellectual property, they have the offices in Delhi, Bombay, Madras, and Calcutta. All the places they have the office. Uh, and secondly, that you have to apply in the region where you live. For example, you are living in Delhi, perhaps Noida, so you will file in Delhi office. If you are living in the eastern office, you have to file in Calcutta. So I want to tell you this thing, that you will not get it automatically. You have to submit an application, and it's not easy that you apply and you get it. No, all your application are examined by the examiner, and if the examiner finds that your idea, your design is novel, your invention is novel, they decide. After examination, if they find that there is newness, there is novelty in your idea, then you will get the protection. So so in case of design, see, the patent can be protected for 20 years. Design can be protected initially for 5 years, and for five more years, you can renew it for up to 15 years. After 15 years, your design comes into public domain. Anybody can use your design without your permission. Yes, before 15 years or before 20 years of your invention, everybody has to take permission from you if they want to use your intellectual property. But when your intellectual property has lived its life, then it comes in the public domain, and anybody can use your intellectual property without your permission. So design has nothing to do with the functionality of the product. It is just the physical appearance that attracts to a person. Now I'll show you with some example. This is a design of a chair which is designed by a Bulgarian designer, Ilyan Milinov. He found that somebody have his wife is very healthy wife, and the boyfriend or the husband is small, and thin, I mean, is not that heavy, and he wants to lift his wife into arm and want to make romance. He cannot do it. He can't hold his wife for more than 15 minutes. So for making romance, he developed a chair, this design chair, which is he called hug chair, available in Europe very much. It's called hug chair. I have one at my home also, but I sit here and keep my newspaper. There are some fools like me in the world. I keep my newspaper, my coffee mug, or some laptop here, and I sit there. Now you see, these are the various kind of chairs. All these chairs are used for sitting purposes, but they have the different designs, and all these designs are protectable, and you do not know who may demand a particular design. So once the design comes to your mind, you can go and protect it. These are the boom box, these are the remotes, and these cars and the chairs. They're all of different designs, and these designs are protectable for 15 years. There is one more intellectual property called trademark. Trademark, basically, they are the words, color, tagline that differentiate product, or that helps in identification of the product of some company. For example, if I keep 5 televisions before you and I remove the sticker from all the 5, and I ask you, tell me which is Sony, which is Tony, which is Samsung, which is uh, LG, or which is Philips, it is very difficult for you to identify and tell me which television belongs to which company. Suppose I put the sticker on each. On someone I put Sony, Samsung, or some color or some marks also. There are some marks also. So these marks, they are the sign or the marks, these trademarks. They help you in identifying the product of a company. When there is written Sony on a television or on some electronic product, if Sony is written, then you can easily say that it is a Sony product. If LG is written, you can say the color is also different. Color combination is also there. The color is also protected. So you can easily tell that which products belongs to which company. Sometimes nowadays, actually, sound can also be protected as a trademark. You might have seen when you open a Airtel mobile, it gives a very peculiar sound which other mobile doesn't give. So Airtel mobile sound is also protected as a trademark. The Udle sound of Yahoo, Udle sound of Yahoo is the first sound trademark protected in India in 2007. And the perfume, the aroma also. There is a company in US that manufactures embroidery thread, which is a very peculiar aroma, with a very nice खुशबू जिसको बोलते हैं ना आप वो होता है इसके अंदर. By that you can identify, by smelling you can identify that which company this embroidery thread belongs. So they are basically trademarks are they are the identification mark that helps you in distinguishing a brand of one company from the other. But what happens over the period of time, sometime these trademarks becomes the quality symbol. For example, my friend, my childhood friend in Noida, he manufactured he's a JVC company. My childhood, he makes all brand of television, all Sony, Tony, Wani, everything he makes. After making, gives them. But the same product for Sony sells the same product in 25,000 rupees, which Samsung sells in 20,000 rupees. Why you pay 5,000 rupees more for the Sony than the Samsung? Because there's a trust, a confidence has built in you that if it is Sony, it must be good. So over a period of time, for example, this iPhone, the brand value, it has a brand value also. You can sell it also. You see, Dabur has purchased this uh, one brand name for this toothbrush, Binaka. The Binaka this mark, Binaka trademark is purchased by the Dabur. But because sometimes they increase your trademark, increase your sell. Now Voltas has been sold to a Korean company, but the Korean company purchased with the condition that they will continue to use Voltas because Voltas has a name in the Indian market. People prefer Voltas product. So sometimes Voltas, this trademark, so trademark help you in increasing your sell. And in your bad days, you can sell your trademark also. You must have seen there was an ambassador car manufactured by Hindustan Motor Limited. The company has been closed down for all practical purposes, but Renault is a car company, Renault in India. They purchased the brand name, this trademark ambassador from Birla in 80 crore, because these know that still there are some people, if they launch a car by the name ambassador, there'll be some people in India who will prefer to buy an ambassador even today. So that's why this trademark plays a very, very important role in a startup, in an enterprise. Now, the trademark is the only trademark, only intellectual property which you can continue to protect as long as you want, but you have to renew every 10 years. Some trademark, Coca-Cola is a 120-year-old trademark. Tata is also again more than 100-year-old trademark, like that. Now I'll show you some examples. This Google, HP, see how they are written. There is a different color combination, the design. See, there are also some trademarks. Now, trade secret is again intellectual property. See, when you are in a business, what intellectual property you will use to protect your business is a business decision. For an academician, for example, some teacher is working in your Amity University, he is not in a business, but if he takes a intellectual property which has, if you apply, suppose he has a 10 patents of no value, zero value, and those patents will never see the light of the day. But if they apply somewhere in IIT, in some other companies or some other places, some other universities, they will absorb very easily, because they'll see that this gentleman has, this teacher has 10 patents in his name. But in business, you have to wait. What intellectual property you will take, or you will apply for? It's a business decision. That means if you apply a intellectual property protection application for your product, then you have to see how much business you are going to get and how much expenditure you are going to make, because getting intellectual property is a costly decision. Sometimes it has a cost. all these intellectual property protection you will not get free of cost. All these intellectual property has a cost. In India, the cost is low, but if you file a patent in America, it may cost you maybe 20 lakhs rupees. So now you have to see whether can you do a business of 20 lakh rupees or 1 crore rupees by spending 20 lakhs rupees in protection of your invention in America. So it is a business decision. So what happens? You have to take a decision when you're business. So what is trade secret? Basically, trade secret is a confidential business information. It can be a formula, it can be a client's list, or it can be anything, anything. It can be your annual report also. It can be your financial propositions, everything. They are the confidential business information. So these confidential business information, they remain protected. They remain protected as long as they remain to your heart. So what happens? The many companies, when you apply, when you go and when you get an employment in some companies, even in the government, I was working in the government of India. So they asked me to sign an confidentiality agreement that I will not reveal, I will not disclose any of the office information to unauthorized person anywhere, to unauthorized person. Or if want to, if there is a need to disclose the information, I will take the permission from the competent authority. So whenever you work in some big companies, they will ask you to sign a confidentiality agreement. That means after leaving that company, you cannot disclose, you cannot divulge any kind of information. I told you the business information, who are their clients, where the companies are, who are the distributors. You are not allowed to disclose. Formula is something different. There could be some confidential formula also. So there remains. Why some people go for trade secret? For example, I'll give an example of Coca-Cola here. Coca-Cola is a formulation. That formulation is used to make soft drinks. Coca-Cola was a beer making company in Florida. There was a state, there was a government order that this liquor should be banned and this liquor manufacturing should also be discontinued. Now there were two options with the Coca-Cola company. Either they go for a new product or they close down their factory for all practical purposes. So they developed a formula. So once the formula is developed, the company management sat down and thought whether they should go for protection, go for protected their formula by a patent, or they keep it a secret. They took a decision. The company, the management sat down and they see whether they should protect it, the formula by patent, or they should keep a secret information. Now you see, if they are protected, if they would have protected this formula by the patent, what happened? The patent has a life of 20 years. And after 20 years, this formula will be in public domain. Now there is only one Coca-Cola manufacturer. After 20 years, that means in the 19th century, there would have been many Coca-Cola manufacturers all over the world. So they thought that let us keep it as a trade secret. Instead of filing a patent for this invention, they thought that they should keep it as a secret information. They should keep it as a trade secret. So when you are in a business, when you open a startup company, you may need to take such decisions while marketing your products. So now today, the Coca-Cola formula is secret. There is only one Coca-Cola company who has got set up manufacturing plant in all over the world. I have traveled to around 40, 50 countries, and I have seen that Coca-Cola is available everywhere with the same taste, same color, and same, everything same. And the packing also same Coca-Cola. Now, and see how they have, how the thing is that you must know how they have kept this information secret. The Coca-Cola formula is kept by only 2% at a time in the company. And these two people are never allowed to travel in the same direction in the same transport. Because if they go in the same direction, same transport, and something happens, some accident occurs, and both of them die, the formula also goes with them. So how they keep this formula as a confidential information, and because of that confidentiality, after they've been able to keep it confidential for 125 years today. More than 125 years, they've been able to keep this formula secret. So it all depends what intellectual property may be useful to you in long run. Now you see the Coca-Cola, the trade secret, the formula is trade secret, but they have been able to protect their business only with the help of trademark, and the design. See the design of the bottle. The design of the bottle. Now, design can also be, the shape can also be protected as a trademark. It has been included in the law that the shape can also be protected in the trademark. Now, you see the bottle of the bottle of this Coca-Cola and the thing written Coca-Cola here. This by trademark registration. What is this bottle you see? This bottle is the shape of a woman wearing a skin tight dress. See, see the shape of this bottle. This is a woman wearing a shape of a woman wearing a skin tight dress. So with the help of the trademark, they have been able to, and the trade secret, they have been able to running their business for more than 125 years. Copyright is again intellectual property. It protects the expression of an idea. Suppose you are very happy, and you in your happiness you write a poem, you write a lyric, or you draw a picture. That lyric, that poem, or that picture can be protected under copyright. Now, what can be protected under copyright? You can protect sound recording, film, broadcast, photographs, and other original artistic work, musical, dramatic, and literary works. And this is an unregistered right. Copyright is the only right where you need not to register it. Without registration, you can protect your copyright also. But you should not do it, because suppose when somebody encroaches your copyright, or somebody copy your this material, then it will be very difficult for you to prove in the court of law that he is copying. Because once you registered your intellectual property, be it a copyright or patent or whatever it, you court case, and if you place your certificate in the court, that is the biggest proof to prove your right. So therefore, I advise people to register your copyright also. Now, covers both printed and web-based material. How? Let us see. What are the examples of copyright works? The novel, poem, photograph, movie, lyric to a song, musical composition, sound recording, painting, choreography, plan of a building. They're all protected by copyright. Then computer software application, software code for a programming tool, or software application, software code for a website, software code that manages the database. Computer softwares are protected as a are protected by copyright in India, not by the patent. If it is a copyright only, if it is a computer software only per se, computer software per se means only computer software, they are protected by the copyright. But suppose you developed a hardware that is operated by a particular software that also you have developed, then the hardware and the software both can be protected by patent. It becomes an invention, so that can be protected by the patent. But per se, if it is alone a software, that is protected by the copyright. This sign you might have seen, this is a warning basically. When you see this sign on some printed material or some material, this warns you that look, you cannot copyright. The right of copying is with me only, not with you. Now, let us see with the help of product. Let us understand with the help of the example how this intellectual property product. Suppose you are a manufacturer of watch and you make very good watch. So your watch can be protected with the help of several intellectual property. For example, you see the JCWA. JCWA is a trademark right. You can register it as a trademark. Now you see the contours in this watch. Some have the circular case, but this is a contour. So this is another design. You can protect it with the design right. Now, suppose you have some mechanism. You developed a mechanism which is in this watch that improves the accuracy, or that increases the accuracy and precision of this watch. That mechanism, that part, that electronic something that improves it, that can be protected with the help of a patent right. Now you see that all your products, whether it is a washing machine or your machinery, or the testing instrument you purchase in your laboratory in the university, they comes with the warranty card and the user's manual. So this warranty card and the user's manual can also be protected by the copyright. So now you see one product watch. I have given an example. This one product watch which can be protected by these 4 intellectual property. These 4 intellectual property helps you in running your business without any difficulty, and they protect that they actually discourage your competitor to copy your product, because they know this product is a already protected with several intellectual property, and if somebody and somebody encroaches your area, he can be sued in the court of law. There are very difficult, very stringent law for it. If somebody makes somebody makes copy of your material, somebody copy your trademark, then he can be put behind the bar for 3 years, and he can be penalized financial penalties also of 3 lakhs rupees. His business can be stopped, and whatever profit he has earned, that can be given to you. Now there are laws are very stringent today for intellectual property, and for because if you are in a business, you must be innovative. If you are not innovative, you will your door will not open next day. Your shop's door will not open. You will not remain in the business next day. So all these innovations, whatever innovation you make, you must protect it with the help of some intellectual property, so that your business remains in running. It will continue for several years. Now see, the intellectual property, it is said that intellectual property is the oil of the 21st century. If you are not innovative, you will not remain in the market. In the next day, you will not remain in the market. So you must be very, very innovative, and all your innovation must be intellectual property. I gave an example of Maddie Eberson. She said that she has been able to protect his business for the last 35 years only with the help of intellectual property. And my friends, thank you very much for listening me. If there are any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, sir. I think students have no any question. I already asked, and I explained few things from your side. Am I audible, sir?
I'm unable to hear you.
Okay, sir, am I audible?
No, very, very slow. I'm unable to make out what you want to say.
Hello, am I audible?
Let me. Huh? Yes, you say if you want, but very feeble sound. Very feeble.
Okay, okay. Sir, actually, I explained everything to the students about the patent, right? I know a few things. So they have not any question. Now, I would like to thank you for coming, sir, for in the short time.
Okay.
Am I audible?
No, no, no. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that if there are any questions, I will answer them. If somebody have some questions, I can answer them.
No, sir, I think nobody have any question.
Okay. Thank you very much then. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
God
sir.
bless you all.
For coming for the short time.
Have a nice time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.